Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a massive digital infrastructure decision that's facing business leaders and startups right now, especially across the rapidly growing Gulf markets, places like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and Oman. We're looking at the foundational architecture of your online presence. Specifically, we're talking about the choice between WordPress theme development and custom web development. Look, this isn't just a technical IT choice. It's a fundamental business strategy decision. If you get it right, you scale effortlessly. But if you get it wrong, well, you're probably going to find yourself rebuilding from scratch in about 2 years. Okay, let's dive right into this. Not every website should be built the exact same way. All too often, businesses across the GCC make their digital decisions based purely on the initial price tag, right? They're just hunting for the lowest quote. But treating your website like a simple, off-the-shelf commodity is a huge trap. The strategic question you really need to ask yourself isn't about which option is cheaper today. The real question is, which option actually fits your specific business model? We're going to break down exactly how you can answer that. Here's our roadmap for the explainer today. First up, we'll cover price versus business fit. Next, we'll analyze the WordPress theme approach, followed by the custom development solution. In Section 4, we're comparing the two using a renting versus building framework. Section 5 dives into GCC market digital expectations, and finally, we'll wrap up with building a system for growth. Let's get started. Section 1, Price versus Business Fit. It's time we talk about moving beyond the cheapest option. So, the crucial point here is that the real question here is absolutely not which option is cheaper. Focusing solely on a low starting cost, honestly, it's a trap. Think of it like buying a cheap pair of shoes to run a marathon. Sure, you saved money on day one, but you are definitely going to pay for it in blisters later. If your digital platform can't handle the way your actual operations need to scale, that cheap website suddenly becomes incredibly expensive. We're talking lost revenue, broken user experiences, and inevitably a total rebuild. Your digital platform has to align with where your business is going, not just what your budget looks like this afternoon. Let's look at the first of our two development paths. Section 2. The WordPress theme approach. Fast, functional, and foundational. Basically, WordPress theme development means utilizing pre-made blocks and templates. You're taking an existing framework that someone else built and just dropping your content into it. If you need simple pages up and running fast, this is your path for sure. It's incredibly useful when your main goals are a quick launch and keeping those initial costs low. It works beautifully for small company profiles, basic blogs, or simple service websites that act more like digital brochures. But, as you'd expect, there's a clear trade-off. On one hand, you get a fast launch and a lower cost because all the heavy lifting of the design is already done. But the catch? Limited flexibility. It's kind of like renting a pre-furnished apartment. It's great until you realize you absolutely hate the sofa and the landlord says you aren't allowed to move it. You are confined to the parameters of that specific theme. If you want a layout or some cool functionality that the original developer didn't foresee, you're going to hit a wall. It's an excellent starting point, but those boundaries are firm. And that brings us to what happens when you inevitably hit those boundaries. Section 3, the custom development solution. Platforms built entirely around your business. The problem usually kicks in when your business really starts to grow. Suddenly, you realize you need a custom booking system, or seamless Arabic-English switching, or maybe deep CRM integrations. When growing businesses try to force these complex, advanced features into a ready-made template, the engine just starts sputtering. The code gets super bloated with a dozen different plugins. It literally turns into a digital Frankenstein. Site speed plummets, and the user experience completely breaks. A ready-made theme just becomes a massive limitation when your business demands serious scalability and security. That is exactly where custom web development comes into play. This is a digital platform built from the ground up for your exact business needs. Before a single line of code is even written, your specific customer journey, your internal workflows, and your future growth are meticulously planned out. The developers are coding custom modules and building APIs specifically for you. Things like a mobile-first design and flawless bilingual layouts, they aren't clunky afterthoughts crammed into a template, they're intricately woven into the very foundation of the platform. Let's put these methodologies head-to-head. Section 4, renting versus building your HQ. This is the core comparison. Seeing these paths compared side by side really makes the strategic choice apparent. WordPress themes give you that quick, budget-friendly setup. It's a temporary convenience. Custom development, on the flip side, unlocks total flexibility. It's inherently scalable, giving you vastly better control over performance and speed, plus entirely custom features tailored to your operations. Themes provide a fantastic running start, but custom platforms, they deliver the permanent infrastructure you need for long-term growth. And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic. Think of WordPress themes as renting a ready-made office. Custom development is like building your own headquarters. When you rent an office, you can move in tomorrow, sure, but you can't just knock down walls if you suddenly need a bigger conference room. When you build your own HQ, it takes more time and investment upfront. But every single square inch is optimized for the exact way your company actually operates. So how does all this apply in the real world? Section 5. GCC Market Digital Expectations. How local customers actually interact online. Let's talk about actual consumer behavior in the GCC. Your local customers have incredibly high expectations right now. Speed is non-negotiable. If your site takes more than a few seconds to load, they bounce. Gone. Mobile experience is absolutely paramount because that's how the vast majority of this market is shopping and browsing. Flawless Arabic and English support is crucial for navigation. It cannot look like a cheap, auto-translated afterthought. And payments? They require flawless integration with local gateways. You have to meet these regional demands flawlessly if you want to compete. To put this into perspective, think about the specific operations of different industries. If you're running a real-time restaurant ordering system, a high-traffic real estate portal, or managing logistics dashboards, you are dealing with very intricate workflows. You simply cannot afford to run complex real-time data on a restrictive prepackaged template. These are prime examples of businesses that absolutely require the control, the security, and the sheer scalability of a custom-built platform. Let's bring this all together. Section 6. A system for growth. Here is the executive takeaway for today. The ultimate paradigm shift you need to make as a leader is this. A website is not just design, it is business infrastructure. We really need to stop viewing our digital presence as just a pretty brochure floating around on the internet. Whether you're tracking leads, optimizing conversions, or monitoring customer activity, your website is the engine of your operations. Treating it like fundamental infrastructure means you have to invest in the right architecture from day one. So before you make your final decision between a ready-made theme and a custom build, I want you to ask yourself, do you need a website that simply exists, or do you need a platform that actively helps your business grow? Because if your goal is just to exist online, honestly, a theme might be fine. But if you want to build a scalable, high-performing system designed around your precise customer journey in a hyper-competitive market, then you need to build a true system for growth. Choose the right foundation for your future. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.